In the stately courtroom of the Midvale District Courthouse, a palpable air of anticipation filled the space. The polished wooden benches and the soft hum of whispered conversations set the stage for a high-profile legal battle. At the defense table, seasoned lawyer Daniel Reed exuded a confident swagger. Known for his cutting remarks and a tendency to underestimate his opposition, Daniel had built a formidable reputation in the legal arena. Across from him, his opponent sat, seemingly nervous and unassuming, an attorney who had quietly commanded respect through a series of lesser-known but powerful cases. The proceedings had begun with a succinct opening statement from Daniel, who smirked as he addressed the jury. "Today," he declared, "we will expose the flaws in the plaintiff's narrative, all thanks to a series of oversights and exaggerations by the opposing counsel." His tone was laced with condescension as he leaned back, certain that his opponent's inexperience would soon become glaringly apparent. The opposing counsel, Felicia Morgan, sat quietly in the corner of the courtroom, her hands neatly folded in front of her. Her eyes, however, betrayed an intense focus and a depth of resolve that belied her calm exterior. As Daniel continued to build his case, pointing out every minor inconsistency in the plaintiff's testimony, Felicia listened intently, her expression unreadable. The first witness for the plaintiff took the stand, a timid character whose testimony was riddled with hesitations. Daniel, seizing the moment, interjected with well-timed jabs and subtle laughter. "It appears even the simplest recollection escapes you," he commented sharply, causing a few murmurs among the gallery. His smirk grew, convinced that he had already won the psychological battle. Yet, as the day progressed, a twist in the narrative began to take shape. During a critical phase of cross-examination, a pivotal piece of evidence was introduced, a detailed financial report that contradicted key assertions made by the plaintiff's team. Felicia rose from her seat, her presence commanding attention. With an assured yet quiet tone, she began to unravel the inconsistencies, methodically dismantling the narrative that Daniel had so confidently constructed. As Felicia spoke, a hush fell over the courtroom. Her arguments were backed by intricate details, demonstrating a mastery of both the case's nuances and the broader legal precedents. Daniel's smirk faltered as he realized that the opposing counsel was no novice. In fact, her expertise seemed to stem from a storied background in litigation. An unexpected moment unfolded. A key document was produced. A series of commendations and legal awards that painted a picture of a highly accomplished attorney with years of distinguished service. The document, introduced by Felicia herself, revealed her true identity. She had once served as a senior advisor to a prestigious legal institution, spearheading reforms in judicial practices and championing the rights of the underrepresented. For a moment, the courtroom fell into a stunned silence. Daniel's earlier condescension was met with a palpable shift in the atmosphere. Felicia's revelation was a turning point, a moment when the scales of power swung dramatically. As she continued her argument, every word carried the weight of experience, authority, and an unwavering commitment to justice. Her calm, methodical approach contrasted sharply with Daniel's earlier arrogance, forcing him to reevaluate his assumptions. The judge, an imposing figure in a meticulously tailored black robe, observed the unfolding drama with a measured gaze. Judge Lydia Carter, known for her fairness and keen insight, allowed Felicia the space to present her case fully. "Counselor Morgan," she said, "your expertise is evident. Let us proceed." The acknowledgement, though brief, reverberated through the courtroom as a subtle rebuke to any lingering doubts about Felicia's credentials. As the proceedings advanced into the afternoon, Felicia's strategic line of questioning began to erode the foundation of Daniel's case. She highlighted discrepancies in his witness's testimony, cross-referenced documents with court records, and systematically dismantled the opposing arguments. The jury, initially swayed by Daniel's confident demeanor, now leaned in, captivated by the clarity and precision of Felicia's presentation. Daniel, who had been so accustomed to the upper hand, found himself on the defensive. His earlier smirk had been replaced by a furrowed brow and a cautious tone. In a desperate bid to reclaim control, he attempted to reframe the narrative. "Is it not true," he implored, "that even the most decorated of counsel can make mistakes in their rush to appear formidable?" But his words faltered under the steady scrutiny of Felicia's piercing gaze. During a recess, whispers and side conversations filled the corridors outside the courtroom. Observers discussed the dramatic reversal, many remarking that Felicia's unassuming presence had concealed a powerhouse of legal acumen. The transformation in the courtroom was more than just a change in momentum. It was a lesson in humility and the perils of underestimating an opponent based solely on appearance. When the session resumed, Felicia's closing argument was nothing short of riveting. With a quiet yet resonant voice, she reminded the jury of the fundamental principles of justice: fairness, diligence, and the importance of integrity. "We are not here to settle scores," she said, "but to seek the truth. And today the truth has been laid bare." Her words carried the echoes of years of service, of battles fought in courtrooms where every detail mattered, and of a relentless pursuit of what is right. In that defining moment, as Felicia concluded her argument, the courtroom sat in awe. Daniel Reed, forced to confront the depth of his opponent's expertise, had no choice but to acknowledge that his earlier derision had blinded him to the true value of measured and compassionate advocacy. The jury, moved by the clarity and strength of Felicia's presentation, nodded in agreement, their expressions reflecting a newfound respect. Outside the courtroom, as the day drew to a close, legal commentators and members of the press marveled at the unexpected twist in the case. The story of the lawyer who had underestimated his opponent became a touchstone in legal circles, a reminder that humility and respect are essential in the pursuit of justice. Felicia Morgan's revelation and her subsequent masterful performance were celebrated as a triumph not just for her, but for the integrity of the legal system as a whole. In the weeks that followed, discussions of the case echoed in academic circles and legal seminars. Daniel Reed, having learned a hard lesson in humility, began to reassess his approach to legal practice. Colleagues noted a subtle but significant change in his demeanor, a recognition that every opponent, regardless of outward appearances, deserved to be respected for their expertise and dedication. And so, the courtroom drama that had once been marked by a dismissive smirk transformed into a powerful narrative about the true nature of advocacy. In a system built on the ideals of fairness and rigorous debate, the case reminded everyone that beneath the surface of every legal battle lies the potential for unexpected revelations, and that true strength is often hidden behind a quiet, unassuming exterior. Thus, the day ended not with a resounding victory for one side, but with a shared acknowledgement that in the pursuit of justice, every voice matters. And as the courthouse doors closed for the day, the echoes of that lesson continued to resonate, a timeless reminder that respect and humility are the cornerstones of a truly equitable legal system.